Halftime Howie here, and once again, bullying was in the forefront of the news this week. A horrible tragedy happened in the Bronx, where an 18-year-old student was, so from the beginning of this school year was being bullied by these two kids in class one day this past week. They threw a pencil at him, hit him in the head, and the young boy just snapped. He took out a knife, he stabbed the first boy, who died instantly, then he stabbed the second boy, who's in critical condition. And I don't advocate resorting to violence to deal with bullying, but I have someone next to me, Mayor Minch, who dealt with bullying his entire time in the school system at Long Beach High School, from the early elementary days all the way up to high school. And Mayor, just from a personal perspective, did sometimes you feel after the kids were so mean to you, not like stabbing kids like this young boy did, but just like you felt like snapping and retaliating because you just couldn't take it anymore?
Many times, yes, I was at the point where I wanted to retaliate against them and not cause them bodily harm, but just like throwing something back at them, like saying, hey, you throw something at me, I'll throw something at you. But I do not condone, and this is what I say on camera, I do not condone murder, violence, and retaliation. I would, throw a paper ball at them back, make fun of them back, do something where you put itching powder in their things, make it funny. But don't condone to violence. I mean, there's always help. There's always a way out. Like what I went through, there's social workers. There are people there to help you, and there's also suicide prevention hotlines that are there for you. But I do not. I say this on camera. I do not condone murder or retaliation in that matter.
Yeah, and the tragedy of the situation is basically this horrible tragedy affects so many people. The kids in the classroom, I'm sure, are going to be traumatized for years and need therapy. Seeing, because there was a tremendous amount of blood, and seeing a young student being stabbed to death right in front of them is going to be extremely traumatic. The young boy's family, and then the young boy who's probably going to go to prison
For the rest of his life.
For a long time. And also, he was dealing with the fact that at the time of this terrible incident, his mother was in Puerto Rico with a horrible hurricane from Hurricane Maria. So it affects so many people. But again, we can't stress strong enough that retaliating with violence is definitely never the answer.
No, it's never the answer. I mean, like I said again, there's always an outlet you can go to. There's social workers, there are psychologists you can go to in your local schools. If you need anybody at your high school, let's say Long Beach High School, please contact 897-2009 Dr. Moran.
The other thing too is that I commend Long Beach High School because they started an anti-bullying club. I commend the local Long Island group against bullying. Even the New York Jets are taking a stand, and they're having a program that prevents bullying program. So a lot of people trying, but I just think one of the unfortunate things is, like, I read the story after this incident, they interviewed a mother at this school where this terrible tragedy happened, and her daughter has been bullied for a long time, with kids constantly pulling her hair. And when she complained to the school, you know what the school replied? Tell her to put her hair in a bun. That's not the way a school should go about preventing bullying and helping a young student like that. Telling the parent to tell the girl to put her hair in a bun, basically ignoring the problem. That's totally unacceptable, and I think that's a big part of the problem, is that the schools don't do enough to prevent bullying.
And that's true. I mean, what I think that schools should do is called a program called Walk a Mile in Each Other's Shoes. How would you feel if someone did it to you, right? It shows the bulliers, whatever they call them. Okay, if this happens to us, like, we won't like it. So I think that it's what goes around comes around, and you should promote positive. Don't be a bully. always encourage it. Friendship is more powerful than being a bully, man.
And the other thing I want to say to close this topic is, if you're a student and you're getting bullied, don't keep it to yourself. Tell your parents, tell your guidance counselor, tell your teachers. Let them know, let as many people know, because I've heard of horrible stories in the past where students were ashamed to tell people, were scared to tell people, and they kept all that torment inside where they couldn't take it anymore and they took their own lives. So don't keep it to yourself. Tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your sister, tell your brothers, tell your guidance counselor, tell your teachers. Get it out there so people can step forward and help you.
And you're right, Howie, whatever Howie says, he's exactly right. Always look for the outlet of help. And also, another thing is also find your group so where you can make friends and overpower the hate.
And Mayor, I think you're the perfect example, because is it a true statement to say that at your time in the Long Beach schools, that being a special needs student, that the special needs teachers were the most important people in your life, and so many of them were always there to help you every step of the way, and without them you might have not been able to make it. But it was the special needs teachers that were so vital in you surviving a lot of rough times.
Yes, I mean, it was them. I mean, I got to give a shout out to 4 key people that helped me. One is Nicholas Restivo. He was the former principal at Long Beach High School. Second was Dr. Moran. He's a school psychologist at Long Beach High School. Maria Perone. She's a staff member at the high school. She helped me a lot, and I got to thank her for making me who I am today and helping me graduate high school.
Okay. Mayor, thank you so much for sharing, and we will continue to raise awareness to very important topics like bullying. And Mayor, thank you so much for your input today.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
All right.